Hi, it's Craig Phillips here. We've got lots of Wagner products I'd like to introduce you to. And this is the HVLP range from Wagner. HVLP stands for high volume, low pressure. To put that in simple terms, how it works is you have a turbine, which is this body here, or the handheld version, it's here. That creates the air. The air is pressurized either down the tube or directly into the reservoir where you put your paint. Once you pull that trigger, that paint comes out the very center nozzle here, followed by airflow top and bottom, directing it to the point of contact. That way you get an atomization of paint, a very fine mist, which leaves you a perfect finish, no brush marks, no rollers, and no contact. Now the 4 versions available are the fencing decking sprayer, the Flexio 590, the Flexio 690, and the Flexio 950. And there's also the handle extension, which is ideal for hard to reach areas like decking or ceilings. This simply clips to the unit itself and any of your attachments, and it gives me an extra 600mm reach so I can get to the ceilings, keeping my feet firmly on the floor. Now the fencing decking sprayer is ideal for fencing, decking, sheds and your outside furniture. It comes with an extra large reservoir, 1400mm. Therefore, you don't have to keep filling it up when you're doing vast areas. It has a 1.8 metre hose, and it also has a comfortable carry strap for ease of use. The fencing decking sprayer has a 460 watt turbine. The rest of the units are 630 watt. Now, as for the materials, the great thing is you don't need any form of specialised sprayable paint. Any paints, any colours, any brands. Now the cleaning up is very important. Start off by unscrewing the bottom reservoir off the attachment. If you have any paint left in here, pour it back into the main tin. It can be reused. I'm going to pour some water into that. Just let that soak for a moment, and then you have to start to take the sections apart. So removing the suction tube, unscrewing the nozzle, Great thing is you don't need any tools whatsoever to take this apart. It's all done by hand. There's usually 3 sections there, and you do have your little washer in there too, and you have your needle here where it's going to be surrounded by paint. So start off by rinsing that through under the tap, making sure that this area here is completely clean from paint. You've got no paint in here and no down here. You can turn the tap on, it projects that water through the suction tube until it starts to show it's clean coming out of the bottom. And now you've just got the actual reservoir itself. You'll find that the reservoir is nice and smooth inside. It's been machined, so it's very easy to clean. Now you've cleaned all the parts and you're happy that you've removed all the paint, you can fill that up with warm water and then start to reassemble the nozzles, making sure they're realigning up with the notches that are set just on the inside of here. This is placed on the top, nice and loose. Then you screw the union nut back onto the top, tighten it up by hand, and then put the suction tube back in place. Screw it nice and tight, and then you can plug that back in again and spray all the clean water through the nozzle to make sure there is no paint left on. Now the Flexio 590 is a truly universal paint sprayer, ideal for indoor and outdoor projects. It comes with its own carry case and 2 different size attachments. One is the 800mm attachment. This is for all your wood and metal work. And a 1300mm reservoir for your walls and ceilings, so you can use emulsion paints or smooth masonry paint. The paint flow control allows you to decide how much paint you want to project onto the surface, so you're in control at all times. One further control on the 590 allows you to spray a narrow pass over a paint or a wider one by simply moving this dial. Now with the wooden metal attachment, which is this one, you have 3 different angles of painting. You can turn the nozzle that way and spray from left to right. You can turn it upright and spray up and down. Or you can turn it in between, which gives you a very narrow pass over a paint, ideal for spindles and railings. With the wall and ceiling attachment, you have 2 directions that you can paint in. You can turn it this way for spraying left to right, or turn it that way for spraying up and down. the 590, we now move over to the Flexio 690. Now the Flexio 690 has the same size turbine as the 590. However, the turbine is based on the floor. The airflow comes through a 3.5 metre hose. That makes it a lot lighter to handle. Now the two attachment nozzles are the same as the 590. However, the reservoir is larger. This is 1800 millilitres. And you still have the wooden metal attachment, which is 800 millilitres. The airflow control is situated at the back of the turbine. Now last but certainly not least is the Flexio 950, which looks very different to the rest of the range. However, it's a 630 watt turbine, which is based again on the floor. Now this suction tube makes it a direct intake from the paint pot. So any size paint pot, just place that into it and the turbine will draw up the paint into the unit and start to push it through this small tube here. Then the turbine creates that air, forces it down this black tube all the way into the lance, so you get your atomization of paint coming out of the nozzle. It gives you a 700mm reach, so it's ideal to get right up to tall ceilings or down below to the ground. You also have a dial on the end here, so you can change the width of the paint pattern. And all your controls are at the top of the unit here for your airflow control for thicker and thinner paints. You have your on and off button, and you also have a fill and self-clean button. Now the 950 also has a special feature. It comes with the 800mm wooden metal attachment with a special handle that clicks onto here. Then you can detach the lance and attach the air hose to the back of this and use it the same as the rest of the units.
Always think about your health and safety. Always wear eye protection and a breathing mask, especially when working with wood and metal paint or solvent-based paint. Even with high walls, ceilings and large surfaces, the 70cm spray lance gives you very long arms. Cleaning the system is as easy as painting with it. Thanks to the self-cleaning system, it's all done automatically. Sometimes you may need to dilute the paint and also stir it thoroughly. Now lower the suction hose to the bottom of the paint bucket. Select Fill Clean to fill the system with paint. Thanks to the raised control panel, the device is easy to use. Now press the trigger until the paint comes out. Then point the lance towards the wall and switch from Fill Clean mode to On. Use the included test poster for test spraying and to try out the different settings. The adjustment ring allows you to choose between a wide flat jet and a compact beam. You can also adjust the paint quantity to match the desired spray width. A narrow spray width is used with the white area on the quantity scale and a wide spray width with the black area. For wood and metal paints, there is a special spray attachment with a paint container. Fill this, dilute the paint as required in 10% increments, then stir it and attach the container. Disconnect the control and fluid hose. For now, you only need the air hose. Connect this to the handle, adapter and trigger. All the steps shown here are also described in detail in the owner's manual.
So that's your HVLP range from Wagner, and don't forget, all of these Wagner products come with a standard 3-year guarantee. However, if you register the product on Wagner's website, you get a 4th-year guarantee absolutely free. So if you're looking for more tips, advice and inspiration, why don't you follow us on social media?